Hello guys, Jamboo here and welcome to this video. It is the game that everyone has been waiting for so long for. Tekkz against Anders Vejrgang. This has been brewing up for a while. The purpose of this video is we're just going to be watching it together and I'm just going to be showing you guys little things that they're doing in their game that are getting them to the very highest level that you guys can implement and hopefully get some more wins as well. So we'll just give our reaction to the game. I do know the result. I have watched it already, but if you haven't, lock in. It's a great game. Leave a like if you enjoy different content like this. Let me know your thoughts on the match in the comments as well, and let's get into it. If you're looking for the cheapest FC26 coins to build your super team, then look no further than MMOEXP.com. You can use code JAMBOO for 8% off the already cheapest coins. Okay, so just before the game starts, I just want to... We need to talk about how EA fumbled the bag so badly here. Because it's just crazy. Watch this. You can see like the pixels and stuff coming up on the screen. It's lagging, you know. Oh man, it's literally, you know, for this production... This is the biggest FC pro game in years. Like, the pro scene has gone massively downhill, right? Surely the #1 priority, absolute #1, you know, to the production team, whoever's sorting this out. Do not let the game be lagging and glitching on the production like this. Oh my day. It's just the absolute worst thing that could happen. It is funny in a way though, isn't it? Because, you know, we all complain about like delay in game and everything. And then even their biggest stream in years is lagging. And it's like the servers can't keep up. So, I mean, I'm just going to skip for your guys' benefit to the point where it's not lagging and it's actually watchable. Okay, so the game is no longer lagging. It is 1-0 to Anders. He scored a goal, you know, whilst the stream was still all over the place. But I want to really emphasize here, you know, just the level these guys are playing at. And Anders in particular, you're just going to see like how he sort of breaks away from the meta. He's unbelievable at playing it. You know, there's a lot of through balls in behind and stuff like that. But you're just going to see how, you know, these guys just are able to mix it up at the very highest level and add different things in. Anders is in the white shirt and then Tekkz in the sort of purpley colour. But you can see here in the build-up, Tekkz trying not to rush anything too much. He's trying to build up. The thing with Anders is his pressing is unbelievable. You're going to look, see how many player switches like Anders is activating all the time, applying pressure to the ball, applying pressure in passing lanes, trying to intercept, you know, never giving you a single second on the ball. You're going to see here Tekkz cuts it back, Anders runs straight into the passing lane there and is able to just stop the danger. This is another thing about the EA streams, by the way. I understand there's other games going on and like people want to get screen time and stuff like that, and they deserve that screen time. They're top players. We've literally just basically missed an Anders goal here because they're skipping to other games. It's bizarre to me, personally. But you see their crazy through ball from Anders, just slotting it through that gap. And you're going to see that these guys are constantly triggering the runs with L1. Okay, so they've cut back to the Anders Tekkz game, which is nice. And you're going to see Tekkz in the build-up here. It must be really difficult for the guy, to be fair, because, like, obviously, and Tekkz understands this as well, like he's no longer in the peak of his powers. It happens to everybody, you know. There's these up-and-coming guys. Tekkz has been at the very top for a number of years. So much pressure on this game for him that it just must have been really difficult. Obviously, he's no stranger to pressure. You know, he's won many things and all that stuff. But it must be really difficult, you know, when he's no longer at the very top of his game. And he's matching this absolute demon in Anders Vejrgang, you know, that people are expecting a really good matchup and stuff. It just must be difficult, but I mean, hopefully EA are going to cut back to the game that we actually want to see in a second. They should have, at the bare minimum, just, you know, just have the game on at a different time or something. This is the biggest game in so many years. But you can see here, Tekkz gets in a really good position, gets very fortunate with the bounce there. You know, FIFA is always going to be FIFA, man. I don't care what game it is, whether it's esport ready apparently or not. Dodgy bounces and things like that, they're just never going to go anywhere. You know, I've been around long enough. You see here, Tekkz plays it into a zone, gets very lucky, and then that pinner low driven. You see, even at the very highest level, Pinner is scoring goals against the best players in the world. That low driven, though, that is something that, you know, if you guys aren't already, which I would be surprised, you need to be getting that into your game. You know, if you just have Pinner up front, get into the box, double tap that shoot button, and you're going to be absolutely chilling. But you can see here again, this is Anders building up now. Just sort of taking his time, not rushing. He's triggered his midfielder on a run there, and that's just to give Tekkz something to think about. That is genuinely genius. Genuinely genius. He's triggered his midfielder on a run. I think we can slow this down when they show the replay. I'm going to show you guys exactly what happens here. And it's the tiny things like this at the very highest level that just add that little bit of difference. So, watch here. He's triggered this midfielder here on a run, okay? And at the very bare minimum, that is just giving Tekkz something to think about. So he has to respect this and think that this player is on a run and it's someone that could be found. So he continues on the build-up here. This midfielder is still running in. And then from here, he actually stops the player's run, plays it to Mbappe, and then sends his striker on a run. A quick pass in there, first touch away from the defender, and then that low-driven finish. But that is a crazy goal. Like, he's just given Tekkz so much to think about. And then from that point on, it's just made it very difficult for Tekkz to actually do anything there. See, what we're about to see here is just why it is difficult at times to take this serious at an esport level. Like, you can see Tekkz building up here, and he actually does really well. You know, he's looking for the pass inside here. Just pretty standard stuff. You can see he's triggered his midfielder on a run here as well, just to try and get him up the pitch and, you know, create another option. So he plays it into him, plays the pass into Pinner, and you see Saliba dives in here to make the tackle. Anders has pressed tackle. And you think, you know, if you just look at that still image there, like, Anders is surely getting the ball, right? No. Saliba is just going to bounce off of Pinner and just give Tekkz another goal. You see Anders' reaction there. Oh, man, that is funny. Let's go back. Look, he is not happy, and I don't blame him at all. But again, you know, from a playing perspective and something that you guys can take from it at the bare minimum, even though Tekkz has got really lucky there, it's that build-up and actually getting yourself into the position to score these goals. Because obviously, you can't get these lucky bounces and things like that if you aren't in the position. So that triggering the run of his midfielder, the short passing into his striker, is what has created the chaos. And don't get me wrong, it should never be a goal, but that is what to take, you know, from that scenario. Okay, so Anders has a kickoff here, and you're going to see how he sort of approaches that. Attacking very directly through the middle of the pitch. Tekkz steps in super well there. And from this point, it's a pretty even game. You can see Tekkz has triggered the run of his fullback constantly at this level. You're going to see this theme of triggering runs with L1. If you aren't triggering runs, you're doing it wrong on this game. The AI attacking is simply not good enough to not be spamming runs with L1. Tekkz gets very unlucky there. That's the precision shooting, you know, that's just gone a little bit wrong. But the build-up was really nice. And again, like I say, it is that constant cycle of sending your players on L1 runs that is ever so important. You're going to see Anders here on the attack with Bonmati, recycles it back to the edge of the box, goes for a low driven, and Tekkz is going to try and play his way out of the pressure here. But what you're going to see again from Anders' perspective, look at him stepping into that passing lane. He's just so good at reading what his opponent is going to do. He gets a free kick here, and I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I really thought that he was going to shoot from this free kick, and he actually goes for what I try and do from mine. He's baiting it as if he's going to shoot, takes it short, passes it back, and tries to work away into the box. It is absolutely brilliant play. Anyone but Japstam there, and Anders is probably chilling. But those short free kick set pieces are very effective of creating like a near guarantee guaranteed chance, so that is something else for you guys to look at. Play a lot from Tekkz there just to change the run of Pinner. You can see he's triggering Mbappe on the run, using it as a decoy. He's then got his fullback that's running in. So important, man, to get your players running, whether it's player locks, triggering. That was absolutely beautiful play as well. You know, goes for the roulette, tries to pass it across, but Anders just steps in and somehow gets rid of the danger. So Tekkz is on another attack here. He gets into what I call the danger zone, but Anders manages to step in and win the ball back. You can see that he's sending Mbappe on that run again, lining it up. Quick 1-2 passes, you know, just giving your opponent something to think about whilst creating angles. So you can see Anders uses the ball roll scoop to go back on himself, gets unfortunate there, and then Tekkz has an opportunity for a counter attack. So he's taking his time here, goes for the driven pass into the middle of the pitch, sending Nico Williams on a run. Just a bit rushed there, you know. That is a really good chance. And then you see from there, it goes from Tekkz having a really good opportunity to Anders hitting him on that counter attack. And when they show the replay here, you're going to see exactly what Anders does to get his player going. It's going to be a tiny little quick pass and through ball here. So you see with Bonmati into Pinner, first time using that tiki-taka play style, and Mbappe from that left mid position is just absolutely insane. So the idea is you send Mbappe on a run, you play the ball into your striker from your cam, back to the cam, and like a first time through ball. He sort of did it in reverse that time, but that is the idea. It's one quick pass into a player that has tiki-taka and incisive, and a first time through ball over to either wing, and that just works super well on this game. What you're going to see here is a beautiful move from Tekkz. So you can see he gets the ball out wide, driven pass into his winger, and this is all about just getting your players moving again. Through ball into the striker, that is what I'm saying. Just one touch, recycles, takes his time in the box, and it's a little bit of 45th minute going on, I would imagine. You see, Anders is not happy about it at all, but it's a really well worked goal. From Tekkz. You see the little grin there. He probably knows a little bit of 45th. But it's beautiful play. You know, that first time ball from Pinner, you get the ball out wide, and from this position, options will open up. Anders tries to cut the lane. Tekkz delays the pass with Tonali to Mbappe, and then he is able to get that first time shot away. And first time shots inside the box, by the way, are crazy good on this game. So that is definitely something for you guys to take into account as well. Okay, so again here, using a player lock, Tekkz trying to take his time on the build-up here. No need to rush anything. Obviously, it's a close 4-3 scoreline, but he's managed to craft a way into the box really well. But you see what Anders is doing is he's switching with that right stick, and he's cutting down the passing lanes really quickly, which leaves you with nothing on. You're just sort of standing there with the ball, and all your passing lanes are cut, and he's so devastating on these counter-attacks. It feels like any time Anders gets a chance on goal, he's clinical, and the reason for that is he's waiting for goalkeeper movement. You're going to see even on this chance here, like a devastating counter-attack. All three of his players that are ahead of the ball carrier are making runs in behind. Cuts him apart, waits for the keeper movement. Tekkz looked like he actually went the right way there, but that precision shooting is just too much, you know, from that sort of distance, even if you get sort of the right way. So he's created a really good chance, and he's absolutely livid, even though he's gone 5-3 up. Which I don't really understand, but we'll move on. Okay, so Anders on the build-up here, using that technical dribbling with Yamal. You can see once again just sending players flying up the pitch here. Quick first-time passes, just trying to create angles. Tries to get the ball into that danger zone again. If you can get the ball out wide, just on the edge of the box there, that is where things really can happen on this game. It's probably the best way of creating chances other than just spamming through balls in behind. But you can see here, Tekkz rushes the pass, sadly, and then it's going to give Anders another chance. He's sending his players on forward runs again, using driven passes along with pinged pass play style as well, just to get the ball moving. But you see another first time through ball from Reinders. Brilliant defending from Tekkz, using the shielding as well with Valverde there, and he has an opportunity. Just a couple of reset passes. You know, he's going back just to try and let his team get forward and into shape from an attacking perspective, but rushes another pass. First time from Pinner. these little 1-2s, it's why Pin is so good, you know, this tiki-taka, and as soon as Anders gets in a position like that, like I say, it's just over. He is so difficult to defend against because it's not just the orthodox meta. Like, while he is throwing in these through balls and things like that, he's also mixing it up with just moments of brilliance. So you see these little 1-2 passes here, and even like an unorthodox shot on Yamal's right foot. Tekkz may not have been expecting that. That's flown into the back of the net, and at this point, it is a long way back for Donovan, sadly. So you can see here, Anders winning the ball back again, and it's just the way he counter-attacks, man. Like, even when he passes back, there's always an intent to go forward. You can see Tekkz here is on the attack, and Anders has some defending to do. Switching with that right stick, cutting the passing lanes again. It is such a high level, it is ridiculous. See here, these little 1-2s, tries to get the ball out wide. Really good press from Tekkz there. And at this point in the game, obviously 30 minutes left. They are playing 8-minute halves, I believe. So there is time left, but Tekkz does have to make, you know, a big emphasis on actually going forward here because time is somewhat running out. Goes for like a precision pass, I believe there. Didn't quite work out. Anders probably using the radar there to see which players are free, you know, to play out with his goalkeeper. Just taking his time here. And this is game management because what he's able to do is he can keep the ball a little bit while still going forward, and Tekkz has to overcommit and press due to the scoreline of the game. So he's going to get into this wide position, cuts the ball back, great defending there from Tekkz, and he has a counter-attack opportunity of his own, sending his players forward, and EA decide to cut to another game. Guys, please. Listen, I'm no production expert at all, but surely this was not the way. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and you guys enjoyed their broadcast, but I just found it very frustrating. You know, you'll have to let me know what you think. But you can see in the bottom right there, Anders on the attack again, gets the ball into the box, and good keeper movement from Tekkz there. Another very key thing on this game. Penalty was given because I believe Tekkz slid. They are going to bring up the replay. It's unlucky because he slides in, which is the right idea in my head because he's gone to block the low-driven shot. But sadly, I think he's just caught the player after they've shot, and a pen has been given, which is not ideal, and it gives Anders the chance to get his 7th goal of the game. You can see here, this is the other pro game, you know, another meta through ball in behind. It's the issue I have with FC Pro and just the game in general at the minute. You know, back when I was competing and I was a pro player, don't get me wrong, you know, I was never a Tekkz or an Anders, but people had their own unique styles. You know, I played at a very good level as well. I had my own style. I was very good defensively and also good at seeing games out. But you can see here, he just slides late and catches the ball. But the point I was making is people had unique styles. You know, there was possession players. There was people that were really good at pressing. You had Tekkz, who was insane at skill moves. Every game felt different. Whereas now, it just feels every single pro player, including the very best, bar the odd bit of magic, are doing the exact same stuff. And it's just a bit of a boring watch. But you can see here, at this point, Anders, you know, this game is over. And it must be tough for Tekkz because at this point it's almost damage limitation, to be honest with you. And Anders is not the sort of player that's going to relax and, you know, sort of let you off the hook. So you can see here, he is luring Tekkz out. He's just he's slowed down the attack a tiny bit, but still trying to go forward. You can see here, you know, he presses pretty aggressively, and Anders, you know, he's going for it. He doesn't really let up on it. You know, gets the ball into this area, and again, you know, Yamal's right foot. Anders just does not miss, you know, whenever he gets a chance. It is fine in the back of the net. So this is another Anders goal, you know, he runs through. At this point, obviously, Tekkz it's just a little bit all over the place, you know, as expected. When you're losing that heavily and you're trying to make things happen, it's just a long day. And, you know, I really do feel sorry for him. I think Tekkz, honestly, he was competing at the same time as me. He is the best player I've ever seen, like in his peak. Obviously he's not there anymore, he knows that. Time happens, you know, times change and stuff, and you know, he's still doing very well, like content wise, all that sort of thing. But I honestly felt sad watching this because it's just, I don't know, it's really not too deep. Like, I'm sure Tekkz, you know, he's absolutely fine. It is what it is. It's a game of FIFA at the end of the day. But it just was a bit sad, you know, seeing this, to be honest. You know, when I remember the player that I was watching in like FIFA 19 or whatever, and it would have been so cool to see him like come up with the upset in a game like this. You know, back in the day, you would never ever have imagined Tekkz being not the favourite or a heavy favourite for any game he played in. He was a big underdog going into this one, and you know, you can see why here. But like I say, you know, it's whatever. It is what it is. You know, FIFA as an esport has massively dipped off. I don't think people take it as serious as it once was, sadly. You know, I'd love it to grow and things like that, but I think there's a lot wrong with it. You guys let me know what you think. The scoreline is going to remain as it is now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, you know, and it was something a little bit different for you guys. If you'd like me to do more things like this in the esport, you know, when big games happen, you can let me know. But EA, fix your stream, fix the way you're showing the games, please, because this stuff I believe will be putting people off. You know, I really do believe that. But guys, leave a like if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one, and peace.